You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio.
Jaffrey Radio. Jaffrey Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio.
This is Jaffrey Radio.
Your online radio. The new online radio that makes you happy.
You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home.
Jaffrey Radio. This is Jaffrey Radio.
Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and gay.
Jaffrey Radio. This is Jaffrey Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio.
You are always welcome home, welcome home.
Your online radio. The new online radio that makes you happy.
You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home.
Jaffrey Radio.
Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and gay.
Jaffrey Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio.
Hello, our wonderful and cherished viewers. Thank you for tuning into Jaffrey Radio Home Sweet Home program. We thank you so much for your support. We thank you so much for your help. Right. And today is Sunday. All right. And as usual, we are on. Yes, so all we want you to do is just share the link with your friends and loved ones. Let them know that the time is on. The time to make your marriage work is on. Right. So share with your friends and loved ones and let them also join this program. I just want to remind you that this program is sponsored by Bayside Modeling Agency. If you are in Japan and you have any talent that you want to turn into business, just contact Bayside Modeling Agency on this email address, info@bay-side.biz. And let's go straight to Ghana at Tomric Hotel. Yes, if you are outside Ghana and you want to visit Ghana, I recommend Tomric Hotel to you. A place, I call it home away from home. Yes, so just go there and just witness it by yourself. I tell you, you will never regret you did. You can contact them on the email address www.tomrichotel.com. Just contact them. Make your reservations. Go spend your holidays there. You will never regret you did. Thank you so very much. I have a few announcements that I want to make before we start the program. Our sister Tina is celebrating her birthday on July 30th next week at Asa Hall, Soka. It's near Soka Station. I think some of the Ghanaians know the place. So please, let's all together go and cheer our sister up and also congratulate her for another so please All right, and another good news is here. Our own Pastor Bernard Ifa of Glorious Word Devotional. Yes, Glorious Word Devotional. Pastor Ifa, if you remember him, we used to do the all-night service on every last Saturday of the month. All right. Yes, the man full of prophetic words. Okay, he has wrote a book, and this book, you can grab some at Amazon. All right, Amazon. So the title or the name of the book is Glorious Word Devotional. Yes, I haven't read yet, but I'll go into details and just inform you. Not all, but a bit. All right, thank you so much. And we have our sister, Mami K. Mami K, she's also celebrating her mother's funeral on the August 13th. August 18th, so we have like a month ahead of us, or 3 weeks ahead of us. All right, the mother's name is Oba Penny Alice Yeboah. Alice Yeboah. And the program will be at Matubaradanchi Soka Hall. Yes, Matubaradanchi at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. So please take note of the date and the time. And our own DJ Clemsy, the only policeman in this let me say studio in Japan, a Ghanaian policeman. All right, he lost his sister and his dad, and he's just celebrating the funeral for both on September 10th. Yes, at Church of Pentecost Central Assembly, Kawaguchi. Yes, Kawaguchi.
This is Jafric Radio.
Assembly. And the time will start from 4 p.m. 4 p.m. on September 10th. So please take note of the date and time. With me here in a Studio B, I am so glad, so happy to have my wonderful people around me. It gives me joy. All right. So don't forget that you are listening to Jafric Radio. And this program is Home Sweet Home. We have only one motive, that every married couple enjoy their second heaven on earth. So if you want to enjoy your marriage, if you want to enjoy your second heaven on earth, tune into Jafric Radio Home Sweet Home, and you'll see it works like magic. All right. So I am very much grateful to introduce to you my panelists. And last week we made a promise that our beautiful queen will visit the studio. And as I am talking, Queen is here. All right. So let me have a single Anna to introduce our own sweet sister, Queen Latifah. Queen, you're welcome to Studio B.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
This
I'm
is
glad to
Jafric
be here
Radio.
today. And from time to time, of course, you see me here at the studio.
Perfect.
Because I will not allow Mr. Jechi and Pastor to always take the lead. They always take my time.
This is Jafric Radio.
Right, Ken. Thank you so much. And you all know him. I call it the women favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime she just turn his eye on me. Mr. Fred Jechi Mensah, a teacher, a husband, and
father.
A father. Yes, Mr. Fred Chechi-Mensah is here with us. See, wow.
This is Jafric
Today
Radio.
your combination is wow.
I see.
Mr. Fred, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And well, as usual, we're going to do our best to make sure this program is well understood and is well published. And the motive is realized by every person who watches it. Yes, I'm glad to have a new person today in the studio. She's already been introduced, and I believe she's going to do a wonderful job. Most of the work will be with her because she's got a lot of stuff.
I tell you,
Ideas,
Queen has
yes.
more ideas and experience.
So, yes, one please just send it out to whoever you know, your family members, your friends, and anybody, just anybody. Because the Queen is here. She's going to talk, she's going to speak her mind, she's going to share her views. Yeah, she's going to say some wonderful things just to please and make sure that this program becomes what it is. And that's it. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Mr. Fred. And my name still remains Abna Poma Pukufuku. You can call me Dickness Poma if you like. A lady with a long name. I just want somebody to just bring the name. Let me see which one is longer. And I will tell you there are some in the fridge. All right. Thank you. I'm your host for today, Home Sweet Home program. And I have my the executive director with me here, Nanaya Pop. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nanaya, for making this program possible. Today, the topic, I think we are going straight to the point. The topic that we are discussing, or we are going to discuss, is different stages in life, or different stages of life in marriage. Different stages of life in marriage. Last week we did it in Chi, and this time round it's solely
This
English.
is Jafric Radio.
All right. So if you tune in and you cannot speak English, just hire the interpreter and bring me the bill. All right. Thank you so very much. So Queen is here. We have all announced her presence. And I'm very glad to have Queen with me. And Rashid said, our one and only Queen in Japan. Yes, so Rashida. Yes, our one and only Queen is here. She's here with me.
This is Jafric
All right.
Radio.
So we are discussing. We're going to discuss about different stages of life in marriage. All right. We all know we have different stages as we are growing up. Things are changing. We move from young couple to young parents and to parents, and then growing up, like things changes. And then our work, our life in marriage, a lot of things also happens. Financial difficulties, emotional traumas, stress, and others. All these things are part of the journey. Yes, and this is what we are going to discuss. And certain things which are not helping, we try and find solutions that will help us to be able to, be in our marriage, not to end our marriage in some ways. Let me put it that way. All right. And the last week, I think Queen shared a lot with us, and he made us know that sometimes there are certain things we might not understand. We may take certain decisions, and then later on it gives us much experience in our next maybe move. All right. And I was so touched by that one. So with me here, Queen, we are talking about different stages of life in marriage. So this one is open, whichever area that you want to tackle. Just we are going straight now. So Queen, the ball is now in your court. Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Queen.
And as you said, the topic is open, but I was thinking Mr. Jechi was going to go first, but since I'm the queen, no problem.
Exactly. Since you are the queen. Now you're talking.
You know, and as we all know, and even if you don't know, you've experienced it not only in marriage but even in life.
That's right.
There are stages that we all go through, you know. And then when it comes to marriage life, we have so many stages. We can group them to 5, 7 and so on, you know. And then we have what we call like the honeymoon stage.
That's right.
That's when you are always feeling this ecstasy and wherever you feel like you're on top of the whole world. From there, you're going to go to, I think, power struggle. You know, when you start to realize, when reality starts to hit in, you know. Then from then, I think you go to another stage that you now you come to realization that this person you are with is also human being. That's like right. Yourself, you know. From then you can think of maybe, and this stage I'm talking about is, it's either it's gonna make you people or break you, because
that's
when
true.
It comes to this stage, you know, you feel like, wow, this is a different person, or this is not the reason why I got married or something like that. But if you are able to go through all these things, you accept, or you compromise, you try to understand that life is not always as you plan.
That's right.
And it's not a rock that is even sometimes the rock even breaks, you know. So that is it about it. If you're able to patch, then you are on your way. But if you're not able, and then sometimes you break up, you go your own way, you know. But as you move on, if you find yourself in another marriage again, I think those ones will also be a lesson, you know, for you to move on with the other stuff. So let's take the honeymoon stage,
right.
You know, that is the beginning of it. It's just like that way you are moving from relationship, or let's say courtship, or fiancé, and you know, into this marriage. So that's love, that and that stage, you know, when you are dating, you both are putting on your best behavior, and what irks you about the other, you intend to either like overlook it, or you try to understand quickly, or you just try to accept it. You don't want that happiness, that joy you are feeling, you don't want it to end. You don't want anything to get in between it. So you try to forgive quickly and forget about it and move on, you know. And then at this stage, it's just like they said, "Unto namda nwakoto brebo," you know, like. But as you keep living with this person, and then these things continue, you try to see their flaws and all those things, you know, then that's what's bringing you to the second stage.
That's right.
You know, so we should all know that there are all these stages that we need to go through. So I'll give this thing to Mr. Jechi to also continue from.
All right. So thank you, Queen. Queen touched the honeymoon stage. All right, Mr. Fred. The ball is also rolling.
Well, yeah. Well, I think we've said a lot on this, and we'll keep saying it.
Right.
And for me, it's understanding of the situation where you are. You don't have to be overwhelmed, you know, by the situation. That's my understanding. Yes, and I mean, like you said, the honeymoon is there. It's a time that everybody, you try to shoulder yourself off by pleasing your partner, because you don't want that relationship to part away so soon and immediately. So during the honeymoon time, I think you do all that you could, all your best, you know, just to swallow up your differences and you let it continue. But when you come to the commitment, or when the commitment is made, whereby you come to the realization of or the commitment of the relationship, that is when your true self begins to come out. And definitely it's going to hit both of you, the sides that you both of you didn't want, or where you covered during the honeymoon time. It will be the time that it will expose. So yes, it's a matter of understanding the situation. Yeah. before, or understanding that, and you get along with it. Yeah, and you try to make amendments or alterations where necessary and continue your life. But if you refuse, or if you put on pride that what you started or during the honeymoon time should be the same thing to continue, I think that would be a mistake, a very big mistake in any kind of relationship. So yes, as we continue going on, and we say a lot of things about how people should prevent themselves from slipping into situations like divorces and separations and all those kind of things. Yeah, we have a lot to say, I think.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fred. Yeah, sometimes many couples complain. Initially, it wasn't like that. You were so nice, you were so this, what has changed? And a lot of complaints coming. Knowing that even if a child is born, the child never remains a child till the end. At least they grow step by step. So definitely there will be some changes. Yes. So the changes may come, or it will surely come, but how you manage them, yes, that would help. Yeah, if you give birth to a child and you said, oh, I just leave the child, go and do whatever you want. I mean, before you realize, the child can even touch the electric wire and it will turn to another history. Right, so we need to also take care of things and make it work so very, very well. So, Queen, on this, we will move to the second stage of the marriage, where maybe now we have settled in the honeymoon, honey type is no more there. Sometimes you could see that things are fading out. Honestly, the reality comes. Yeah. So at that particular point, what is it like, and what can one do to manage the situation?
Well, thank you very much. And when you get to that second stage, after the honeymoon or that lovey thing has ended, and whatever the case may be, it will end and you enter into another stage. But one thing is that, we're talking about intimacy before. Yes. So at this first stage, it's very crucial in marriage, because that is the time that you build this communication skills, that's communication, intimacy. You build this emotional intimacy. So if your intimacy is not strong at that point, when you get to this second stage, when it is this power struggle stage, it's not easy to communicate to each other. And at this point, the very important tool here is communication.
All right.
If there's no communication, then it will not work out. And then one thing is that we both have ego.
That's right.
Both men and women. But if you are able to control it, me for instance, I have it big time.
Big time.
So at this stage, when I realize that things are not working out and there are so many things I'm doubt, or kind of sometimes I talk to myself. I say, hey Queen, this is egocentric there, so try to calm yourself down. Then I'm like, okay, even if I mellow, nobody will know outside. I'm the one in it, so it's just between both of us, And sometimes you are so angry to the extent that you don't even want to talk to this person. But this person cannot read your mind. Don't know whatever that is going on in your mind. This person might not even know what he or she has done wrong.
That's right.
And you are mad. So we should also try not to judge them. Can't you see that you did this? In your own mind, you are thinking he or she should know. But he doesn't. Voice out. Talk. Communicate. Agree to disagree. Or disagree to agree. Whichever way. If you really want it to work, that is what you're supposed to do. And at this time, when the flaws are setting in, you are now getting to know this person that you are with, you know, and all that. And I think sometimes if you go out, you know, you don't spend much time together, I think you will not be seeing the flaws much, you know, or you have your own time, you go out with your friends, he also goes out with his friends, and then when you come, it's a new, even if maybe you were so upset when you went out, a friend can make you laugh, you know, kind of, you forget about this thing. You can seek advice also from them, not like really necessarily talking about your marriages, you know, and all that, but sometimes you might take other people's own to advise yourself. But there is no way you guys can work out if both of you don't communicate, you have to accept this person, and you should not try to change. You have your habit, he has his. You are both from different angles altogether,
different backgrounds,
you know, so you don't expect him or her to be exactly as you are. I think even last week teacher here was talking about it, you know, that it doesn't matter that this person will fit Richie. It's different, even twins are different in character, you know. So I think if you are able to communicate, you iron out whatever that is bothering you, you know, and how you can fix this. And you don't always have to think that you must win. No. Because if he also wants to win, then nothing is going to work. That's why we said compromise. You have to compromise at a certain stage. He also have to compromise at that stage also. So when this compromising comes in, and then you accept your partner as he or she is, and you both of you try to amend whatever that is not right, or you know, any bad behavior or whatever, we all have it. We all have these characteristics in us. I think if you are able to overcome all these things or try to straighten all these things, we will pass the second stage perfectly.
Thank you, Queen. Yes, we will pass the second stage. Yes, I can remember I my husband is on, and thanks be to Professor Safo Kantanka and then Mr. Pencil, who was a marriage counselor. Right after our marriage, he said, oh, let me introduce you to a school, a school of new couples, and then Professor at KNUST. So we were lucky to have Professor Safo Kantanka, and she just, I mean, it helped us a lot. After everything, we saw ourselves like you are me, and I am you. So that thing has been there for years, right? So sometimes after you have gone through everything and the counseling, before you got married, immediately you get married, if you also get let's say a counselor, not necessarily means something that has struck in or no, but to just know more about marriage issues and things that revolve around marriage. That one, it's really help. This one help us a lot, because at some point it's like you are building a house. They made us aware that marriage is like building a house. At some point, wherever the place is weak, then it means that place might fall. So one is building, others you are also watching.
Yes,
and
that's true.
Make sure that things are going,
you know, like
very well.
Sometimes, like for a woman, just a little, me like this, you enter the washroom, just putting the lid down, just after, you know, that one can trigger me. Hey, you know, but men don't feel it's anything. And this is a washroom. Do you clean it? You know, in his house or in his period, the mother does it for him, but you have to realize that this is your wife, not your mother, not your housemaid.
Queen.
Queen has bring another bomb. It's your wife, not your housemaid.
Well,
Your wife, your partner.
Mr. Fred wants to come
I
in.
know you're not referring this to me because for me,
No, I'm
I've
not
done it
referring-
myself in my house before, intentionally. I didn't want. I know, cleaning the toilet and all those things are some kind of controversial issues in not only marriages but even with friends living.
Yes, yes.
I have a friend who happens to be a Northerner in
Right.
Ghana. This guy loves me for the fact that when I lived with him in Tokyo during those days, we rent a small room, and when we were about to clean the house, the first thing I told my friend is, Rock, leave the toilet in the bathhouse for me. I will clean it. And up till today, this guy still refers me to this and said, Fred, this is my respect point for you. And I said, yes, my friend, I know. I have, when he asked me why, I said, look, I have an idea to do it. That's it. Not that you can do it yourself. But I have an idea. I think it will help both of us. And yes, I did. You see, so for me, I clean the toilet. So it's not only women who does that. Men too do. But like you say, I just want people to understand that stages of life in marriage, when you were a concubine, or let's say when you were a girlfriend, the conditions are different.
Very different.
Very.
And when you get married, you become a wife, a husband, the conditions there too are what? Different.
Total different.
Now, when you have a child, you become parents this
Parents,
time.
yes.
Mother and a father. And don't forget that once you're mother and father, you are shouldering somebody. You are fathering a soul, and your mother a soul. So altogether, it's not the two of you anymore. It's not the two of you anymore. You see, it's the four or the three of you. You see, so people have to understand this, that the stages of life that we're talking about definitely is not going to be the same.
Okay.
From concubineship, becoming a wife, then a parent.
Yeah.
And the parent too, the stage will be different from the beginning because you're going to grow the child, and as the child grows, it will have different consequences in the situations.
Yes.
So I said the other day, people should be pragmatic. Now, tackle problems as they happen. Don't try to run away. You see, you may not have money, of course. Money, you have to work for it. So you cut your coat according to your size, by the way that you can handle it. You see, yes. But like King was saying, of course, cleaning the house too is one of the middle point. For me, I can say, well, I do well. I'm not bragging, but I know it's a very hard point for our ladies or for our wives to clean the bathhouse, the toilet. You need some strength, to wash it. And believe me, when it comes to right now, I do it all the time.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I do it all the time. I have time to do it, and it's a way also to take away the stress from myself. It's a way to take away the stress. So, for toilet, bath, even the compound, I clean to myself. So for that side, I advise everybody: if you're a man and you're watching me, look, don't leave the duties on your wife. Not at all. Don't leave everything on her. She's going to get tired.
Very tiring.
Yes.
Oh.
So you should think of your wife too. It's like we're saying, it's two people making the union in a marriage. We shouldn't forget this. And that union is not going to be smooth from day one. We've said it that the honeymoon time would come. And it's usually the honeymoon comes first.
Yeah.
Is this the ionic side of it? Then after that, that's
You
where
face the reality.
the relative begins
Yes, that's true.
coming in.
Yeah.
And don't attempt to run away. Poor communication in a relationship is not bad. It's bad.
It's really bad.
Yes, poor communication is bad. Communication at all costs has to be effective. It must be understandable. Both of you should be teachable and teaching. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yes.
Listen to yourselves, understand one another. Even if you disagree, you should maturely try to turn the other. She's your wife, he's your husband. So try and find solutions and move on.
All right.
Struggling or fighting to break yourself apart, I'm telling you, it's not a good solution.
No,
No.
not at all.
Yeah, so we'll keep on talking about the solution as we go on. So,
Right.
yeah.
Mr. He quickly chipped in to make sure that the statements that
Queen
made.
I wanted the Queen to know
Mr. Fred
that.
standing in for men here,
Yes.
but he himself is doing well,
of
on
course.
that
So
area.
I want the Queen to know that we have men who does that. So
Yes. As Mr. Freddy said,
it's true.
I'm not talking about maybe exes or whatsoever here, but we are all learning from
Exactly.
marriage, no? And as I told you before, this is my second marriage, you know. And then in my first, my husband, all the time that I lived with him, I never cleaned the toilets, I never cleaned the bathroom,
That's
I
beautiful.
never sweat.
Okay.
The only time you see me, maybe I've cooked at the kitchen, and even as you are cooking, he's there picking, you know, he's that neat type, you know. But the one I'm in now, when it comes to that,
Great. But the other aspect too, he is good.
yes,
So you just
yes,
balance. And
you just
it's
balance.
good that
Plus,
you got
like
the
I said
experience.
before, we all have our characters.
That's
We
right.
have our characteristics. We have our good and bad side. We have some side that people can compromise, you know,
Exactly.
and then be with you. We have some part that no matter how you treat this other person, or no matter what you do, you just have to part ways, because that's one thing. If it's not there, you know, especially if you are married. And we are still talking about this second, because that's
Exactly,
where
the second stage.
where all the wahala is.
That's true.
You know, if you're able to overcome this one. And then one we shouldn't forget about people coming in between in your marriage.
That's right.
For example, you getting married to your partner was through a connection, somebody introduced, like introduction, and then this person wants to be in the middle of everything.
Oh,
You know, you cannot even make decision on your own unless you seek permission from this person or you seek advice from this person. Same with your partner.
Yeah.
There is no way this marriage will work.
Yeah. Some can work, Queen, if you ignore the middle person.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
This middle person, you both feel like this person is your
helped
savior,
you.
has helped you, is your savior, or
It's kind
something
of-
like
you
that.
want to show him
You know,
respect.
so you have to show him respect. You have to, and you might think that the advice or whatever this person is giving is the best, but not knowing it's breaking you. If both of you had sat down and communicate and try to, and you know, this heart that we have, you feel like this person has, you know, so you feel bad to show this person at this stage, or now that you feel that now I'm okay, I was looking for this marriage, or I was doing this, or I was doing that, and this person helped me to be in this position. So you feel that communicating through him or her is the best. Same with your husband also. You know, and at the end you realize that the communication is like you both are not using your own brain, your own mind, your own intellect to be in this marriage. And then at this stage you are also thinking that there are things that you try to do because this person asks you to do it.
Wow.
Meanwhile, you don't want, you yourself, you know, you are not that. If you had done it your own way, or if your partner had done it his own way, it could have worked.
That's true.
Than seeking from this. And when these people give you advice, they want you to do it. You should stand on it. You know, you should. And I think
they think they have become gods in that marriage.
Exactly.
Oh my
This is
God.
Jafric
So
Radio.
at this stage, both of you are your own gods. It's both of you that have to work it out.
Exactly.
So I think we have to iron that thing out.
Yeah, it's true. A friend of mine was also going through that stage where they did well. They tried to just put the middle person aside, and she got angry. because she thought they didn't show gratitude to her. But I think God used you to bring us together. It doesn't necessarily mean that you should be part in every decision that we make. That one is a no thing. So some of you people who, through you, God links the two together, they don't owe you anything. Though you did right, it is good that you did, but don't capitalize on that thing and be like a boss in that marriage. At the end of the day, when the divorce set in, what have you gained? Nothing. It means you did a cost 90 work, bringing them together and tearing them apart. It is not good. So some of you who God happens to use you to bring some people together, just know your position. Yes. And think about, if it were me and someone is doing this to me, would I be happy? And I think the mistakes that we do, it's like, it looks as if we owe that person allegiance. So whatever it is, we need to. But sometimes you have to also, you and the partner has to talk of it. And then at least you can have a discussion with that person that, thank you, we do appreciate. But when it comes to decision making, we want to do it in our own way. Yeah, sometimes you must be bold if it is, especially we blacks, sometimes we are not bold enough to face issues.
No.
That is the problem. If it's like Japanese, he will tell you, yes, you have done your job and it's finished. Just leave us alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't appreciate what you have done for them. But you have to know your zone. All right. Okay, thank you, Queen, for bringing this up.
This
The
is
second
Jafric
stage,
Radio.
It's a dangerous point. I tell you, it can make and unmake the marriage. Yeah, that's where a lot of issues. And sometimes, let's talk about those that through some people's connection, you might you will also realize that you have not been with that person for so long. Maybe some even did not do courtship before they got married. So when they enter into the marriage, they see a lot of differences.
Yeah.
That, like, they are not compatible initially. You can see that that's working, but gradually some make it work. Others, most of them, doesn't work for them because they don't have like that intimacy. Yeah, so it's very, very good that you raise this point. Yeah, so Queen, once you have passed through that stage, what advice would you give to others who they become fortunate to have some people be in the middle to link them with their partners?
Thank you very much. You know, when it comes to this issue, it's very, very sensitive because we sometimes don't want to be the ungrateful ones. You know, you don't want to be the ungrateful one. But if you sack your mind, you are not being ungrateful. You want this marriage to work. But one thing is that your partner, some people are old, but childish. They are not matured at all. Sometimes these middle people might be there, but if your partner is matured enough, you'll be able to overcome it. But both of you are not matured. You are both childish. You know, there's no way it will work. So the only thing is you have to ignore this person, not like ignoring. Sometimes you might seek advice. Sometimes some advice will work, but you don't have to necessarily do what this person is telling you to do. You have to have your own mind. You have to have your own decisions. You are the one in that marriage, not that person. This person may be married too, you know, and then they will try to coach you through their own experiences. Meanwhile, we are both different people and we are married to different people.
Exactly.
So there is no way what worked for you will work for me.
For me, yeah.
Or what worked for your husband will work for my husband also. You have to study your husband, you have to study your wife, you have to study your partner to know who this person is. If you really want it to work, you have, it's a book, you have to study at your school, you must go.
Yes.
It's a school, you must attend it. And there is no marriage book anywhere. Every marriage is different. Every marriage is different.
That's true.
You know, so you should have your own book, your own chapters. Sometimes you refer back, okay, so when this, and you should be able to predict your partner.
Predict?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
What I'm saying is that if you study your partner enough, you know, me for instance, my husband knows that I hate it. I've told you I'm going here. I'll be back at this time. You know, where are you going? Where are you? Who are you? Who are you with? You know, I'll not even pick your call.
Queen. All right.
So when I do this 2-3 times, you should know if there's an emergency. Of course, I'm gonna call you. You will be the first person for me to call. And sometimes maybe the time I've given you has elapsed, and I don't go anywhere without telling you. I'll sometimes give you address, you know, to where I'm going, to this station, this, that. So maybe the time has elapsed, or you've heard something. Maybe there's any danger on the way, or you want, but so this is rubbish.
Like having trust issues.
You know, something like that. You have your friends, I have mine. You know, you should be able to predict your partner, what he or she likes and what he or she doesn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I get it.
You know,
right.
What trigger him or her, what calms them, and try to dwell on that. Of course, it might not be easy, but you should try. You know, it's not easy at all. Sometimes it's so suffocating that you feel like, but you look at yourself, well, me too, I have this side, I don't even know how he or she is managing. So let me just compromise and be here. And that middle person, whether friends, because some friends, they'll just advise you anyhow.
Yeah.
You know, you try to, and you feel like you've been with this friend from childhood until this time, so he's the best or she is the best. You have your own mind, he or she have her own mind, you know. So sometimes you will listen, and then you compare with your own situation and see what's best, then you do that. Not like completely ignoring them or whatsoever, but sometimes you might really need to hear some words from some people, or even those that connected you or something like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean you must do that. You have to look at your own surroundings, your own circumstances, whatever that you are in, and see if it's best or not. So
This
I
is
think that's
Jafric
my
Radio.
take on that.
Thank you. Before I'll give Mr. Jeche a chance to talk about what he has in mind, let's read the messages that has come. We have Rashid. I think I've already Rashida Mosa.
Rashida Mosa.
All right. Our one and only queen in Japan. Queen one and only. Mrs. Vida Enin is watching us. And we have Pastor Emmanuel James. He said, I salute you, sir. Our only policeman in Jafric. And all the panelists. Gamba Tekudasai. Thank you, Daddy. Gambarimas. Our sister Nana Joa, all the way from Guma. She's also watching. Nana, thank you. Say God bless you all. God bless you too, Nana. And my own husband. My own is watching. Elder Fofo, thank you so much for tuning in to Jafric Radio. We have Mr. Isaac Pasha. Mr. Isaac, thank you so much. All the way from Germany.
Wow.
Yes, yes. Nice one. Mr. Isaac, thank you so much. I think he was in Japan and now he relocated to Germany. Thank you, Mr. Isaac. We have Cornelius Appiah. Mr. Cornelius, thank you so much. He said, marriage apathy is also a stage in marriage, so discuss it too.
Okay.
All right, we'll look at it. And we have Omar. Omar. Okay. Right. He said, I don't want to miss a minute watching today's program. I'm enjoying master class presentation and education from our queen and my only proud mom in Japan. Thank you so much, Omar. Thank you. And we have Mr. Bernard Bafodra Ben. Oh, Elder, thank you so much. He's also watching all the way from Kawaguchi. And we have Mr. Cornelius Appiah again. He said, marriage is learning on the job. It's learning on the job.
Yeah.
So as you are
This is Jafric
going
Radio.
through,
You are
learn
learning.
a lot of things from it, and that is the truth. Yes, sometimes what is coming you cannot predict.
That's true.
Yes, sometimes you maybe even cross the second stage where you think everything is now settling down. You have both of you understands each other. Certain things can come and hit the marriage so hard that I think that stage also, when the marriage is also going through the challenges, for example, one partner may fall sick. I always say this woman, I don't want to mention her name, she was a movie actress before, and that lady, I love her so much. After the marriage, the husband got an accident and one leg was amputated. And this lady stayed calm with the husband. And anytime, any funeral, you could see how this lady gently pushing the wheelchair of the husband. Like, it's really touching, amazing. And most of the people were wondering why such a beautiful lady is doing with a husband whose leg is, and like they think he has become like a bed. Yeah, and he didn't choose that.
Yes.
Yeah, but it has happened. And they have already tied the knot, and there is no way she can just leave it. It becomes so selfish. Yeah, we see many of our ladies are being selfish, and our men too. Some people also, their women may going through a health challenges or something, and later you won't see them again. All right, so if we understand each other that these are some of the things that comes, then we'll be able to manage them. Yeah, we'll be able to manage them very, very well. Mr. Fred, let's take in, for instance, the financial issue. I always say this, Mr. Finance.
This is Jafric Radio.
teaching about finances. Marriage that is going through the financial challenges. What will be the solution in your side?
Well, marriage that is going through financial issues means you have disrespect the usage or the material, the instrument of money. You're not effectively managing it well. Yeah, so of course, if you do that, you're not going to do well financially.
I understand your point, and let's see this. For example, I know of a couple that some few years after their marriage, the lady got cancer, and she was unable to support the family financially, and like that sickness was also draining what they have. Yeah, exactly. So in a situation like that, what will be the outcome, the solution?
Well, the outcome would be keep on.
Keep on.
Keep on moving.
Yeah, but you see,
Keep on living
in a
on.
situation like that, now we live in societies that our society or states have made it simple for people to sort of consult with the authorities and ask for help, financial help, or just to take care of their sick
Right.
family member or something like that. So when it happens that way, and don't forget that there are insurances to going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here comes the case. We would have to advise couples, that people who are getting into marriage, that insuring yourself to is one of the
Best.
points. Yes,
Right.
that everybody should hear about.
Those in Japan here, but
everywhere
let's
elsewhere.
back in our where we came from. Yeah, which the insurance system are not working properly. Let me put it
in
that
that
way.
case, you should have enough savings. You
Enough
see,
savings.
the disadvantage is always on our side, especially from our side,
Mm.
because one, the society is not making it possible for people
Mm.
to save towards such things
Exactly.
in purposes. Yeah, so that's a very big issue that
Mm.
I mean the leaders back home have to think about them.
Mm.
You know, otherwise, a cancerous patient or family member in the family, no two ways is going to drain out your finances. No two ways, and it's going to drain hugely.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you don't have insurance covering that, it's going to be tough. But it's not be a point for the man or the woman to stay away from the marriage or run away from the relationship. No, you have to keep going on, and with your bedside prayers, God can come in and
Yeah.
elevate the situation.
Right.
See?
So because of these unforeseen things, we should also make savings our priority.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
We've talking about finances some day to come, but I was going to talk about one point which I think in Queen's talk,
Right.
the third person coming into relationship.
Right.
I think if somebody introduce both of you, the first thing that both of you should know is, do you love yourself or are you compatible? That's the first thing you both should know. So if you both know that you are compatible and that relationship can take you into commitment, then there's no need listening to the third person.
Right.
You can go straight and let the third person or the person who introduced you understand that, thank you, you've brought us to this point.
Exactly. That's my
You
point.
have brought us
Yeah.
to this point, but from now onwards, please leave us to control the ship.
Exactly. When we need help, we
We'll
might
call you.
contact you.
Yeah.
If we don't.
You know, when I was working here in Japan, in Itabashi, I was working as an engineer in the studio there, and you know, there was a system for Japan here. Each year they have to employ new students, you know, into new jobs. And you know, after I had been there for 3 years, I became a senior worker, and these new students would come, and all the time they are both men and women, young ones and younger than us. And you see, through relationships and all this, with my connections, I was able to introduce some of them,
Right.
and they got married. And I stayed away immediately from them. I didn't want to pop my nose into them at all.
Exactly.
Not even to the point that I was part of the introduction. I kept myself completely away. Why? Because I told the boy that I want you to make every decision yourself.
Exactly.
So the same too with the girl. Make every decision yourself. Freddie's son is not part of it. So actually that was how the way that I took it, and I never got into it. When they were going to marry and everything, they only invited me to their marriage. I said, "Wow, thank you," and that was it all. So you, the person watching me, I want you to understand this. If somebody has introduced you, the only thing is, one, understand that you love that person.
Right.
She's compatible or he's compatible with you. Love will develop as time goes on. Don't base on love, because love is usually of materials.
It's not enough.
Yes, it's usually of
Yeah.
materials.
People used to say
love
that
somebody
love
because
is not enough.
he or she is rich, he's handsome, she's beautiful, she has big there and that. No, compatibility is what we're talking about.
Yes.
That means you have the same equal thinking, your ability and your capability. You should weigh that. And if you know, yes, she's the one that I need, he is the one that will be good for me,
Yeah.
there will be commitment someday, then I'm telling you, cancel the third person straight away. Yes, don't even go to him for advices. No. Communicate with your partner, because
Exactly.
you're going to be the core of the relationship. So if you decide to marry, it's up to both of you.
Exactly.
You see. So the third person issue, it's you two should first understand that you love yourself or you are compatible with yourself.
Exactly.
Then that the third person
Yeah.
should not be in.
I think even today I was with friends. We were just discussing this issue of compatibility. Yeah, like not all the time you have to dwell in your shell that this is what I want and this is what I will go for, whilst you don't even consider the needs of your other partner. So compatibility comes in when the two of you agree in certain things. Yeah, it's really helps.
When both of you can make
This is
compromises.
Jafric Radio.
Yes, I think people should understand what is compatibility. When both of you can make compromises and you can think towards common goal,
Exactly.
Yes.
this is what we're talking about. For example, in the future, we have to live in this country or we have to live in this city. The things that will take you there, are you both thinking of the same course? Or you are thinking sitting down, the money pours from somewhere before you make the move? That's not good. Such person is not compatible with you. But somebody who will come and sit with you, think that before we can get to that city and make the family, we need to work here, save money, do this, buy investment, go there, and if you both agree on the same issue, that means you are compatible. You see, that means you're compatible. So this is what we're talking about. Make sure you have somebody that you can have common goal, understanding with,
Exactly.
and he's ready to teach you
This is Jafric
what you
Radio.
don't know, and he's ready to learn from you what he doesn't know.
That's
Yes.
So the vice versa. This is what we're talking about. Love will develop as you go on. Don't think you love somebody from day one. Those are fantasies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Fantasies.
They are
The
fantasies.
feeling. Oh, this person. When I see her, my heart begins.
Yes,
to-
she's
yeah.
nice. I love her.
All right.
And all those kind of things, you would say them, but I'm telling you, they are fantasies. When the time comes for you to face the reality, it's probably going to be your worst enemy.
Your worst enemy. Exactly.
Just
So
like
we are advising the youth. We're advising the youth. And again, when it comes to marriage, please, if you can, don't look at photos. Don't stay outside. Look at photos and let people
Photos.
introduce them to you. At least have somebody in your family or somewhere to have physical contact, or not the person for you in case you are here.
Right.
But do not draw the commitment until you go down to see the person. Look, this is
Yes.
important because we
Very,
feel a lot over and
very.
over. There's a lot
And
of
these days, that
relationship.
internet,
And
it's
the tool is kinda-
becoming so rampant.
Yes,
Yes.
it's
You know,
everywhere.
yeah, that's true. Like when we talk about the compatibility issue, me for instance, I'm an extrovert.
Yes.
Said them.
He
He said, "Queen, wait for me. I'm coming." By the time you reach outside, I'm already coming back. You know, so you should know that this is me. I cannot hide it. So if you see me in my shop, but sometimes already when I'm really troubled, you know, even for me to go out for shopping, I will not even go. Then you should know that something is wrong with me.
That's
because
right.
this is not me. You know, so if you are coming for Queen, you should know that she's out there. Oh baby, you know,
This is
that,
Jafric Radio.
that does not make me an irresponsible person or whatsoever. That is me. You know, that is me. And then, as we're talking about financial issues, as
issues.
we brought, you know, I think before you even get married, both of you should sit down and talk about your finances. Do you have any credits? You know, are you having any debts? You know, kind of any loans? And most importantly, you should discuss about your marriage ceremony. Sometimes the man will say, me, I didn't know the woman just brought 100 million. She brought this and then we got married. At the end, then the money that went into the wedding was a loan. And then you have to work your ass off to pay off this debt. So you are entering into marriage already with a debt.
Oh my God.
How can you be financially stable in this condition? And then you should know that it's not only the two of you. As you are living, you are going to have kids. That is, if you want to. Then you are going to put these kids into a situation that they did not call for.
They did not call for. Oh.
Just because of show off. The society, when they come to eat finish, it's gone. At that moment, some people will even forget it at your wedding before they even go out. What are you showing? To who?
Showing. And now it has become fashion.
It has become fashion.
You don't use Ferrari in your this thing, and you don't have that strength. Who is chasing you?
Well, I think
You know, when I was getting married for the first time, the gele I used, none of it was mine. You know, they were like, Queen, but you have money, you can, that head here, that this, the big one, you know, and everything was compatible with my.
That's right.
I just went to a friend. I said, Ali, you know now, you're a makeup artist. Me and you since childhood. Me, I don't. If I buy all these things, yes. He looked at me and laughed and said, hey, Queen, who you Pepe? I said, I'm not being Pepe. But after this program, it's just 3 days. I'm not using it for anything. And the cost alone. Of course, when I see shepherds, I know and all that, but look back.
It's
you know, they look at you, you are a nurse, you are this, you are come from this, your husband is from abroad. Hey, look at
money.
Yeah.
You know, and we do this meeting where they will bring things in chance in BSA, you know, like foodstuffs and all that.
Yeah.
Do you know what was there? One set of you know, I don't want to talk about it because it's all those clothes that I saw. Like we, the Muslims, we have something we call lefe. I think you all have it. You know those things. How many years now? I've not even worn one.
Look at it.
Sometimes I'll ask my mom, just open my. If this person can give her 2 clothes, give her 3, do this, do that, because I'm not going to use it. There are many there.
You wear your wedding clothes once in life.
So imagine
Once in life.
if you were in for a loan, both you and your husband, you want to make people proud, you want to make people feel that yes, you've married, you've done this already. Even during your honeymoon, are you even going to be that wet to, you know, gravel your bed? Because you are thinking of that thing now, what to pay, that loan.
Yeah.
So as you are entering into the marriage, already you have deductions every month you have to be paying. You know, so you are already financially drained before you even start.
That's right.
Point.
You know, before you even start. So just imagine, as we say, you know, I told you I have a sister here. If I mention her, and everybody knows. You know, her husband, she was having 2 kids.
Okay.
All of a sudden, he got sick. Meanwhile, when she came, the husband didn't want her to work. He said, oh, sit down, my wife out. And he was really taking care of her. But she said, Mother, me may do I will work. You know, and she's Dadabi. They, you know, they are rich in their family, everything, you know, and all that. And you feel like, hey, I did not bring you to come and suffer in this country. I just wanted you to be with me. And then we make life. She said, you, don't worry. The work I'll work. That money is mine. Let's use yours. You know? And for her, she will even take her salary and ask you, what do you want? She might even dash you. Then, all of a sudden, he got sick. He cannot move. With 2 kids. 6 good years in this country. She was the one working, taking this kids to school, come home, take care of him, hospitals, days, and all that. Until they went home. And then, may he so rest in peace, of course, he passed. Their kids the first one finished university already.
Oh,
You know?
sister has done well.
Oh, and for her, even if she's having 1 year and he said, this 1 year, can you give me half of that 1 year? She will give you. But yes, so when we talk about this financial, and then financial issues, and then knowing that in marriage things can happen all of a sudden, unpredictable. You know, you cannot predict it, but it happens. So I think both partners should also engrave themselves in a way of making income. You know, you don't have to rely, where we come from, you have to rely on your husband. To the extent that, excuse me to say, at the end of the month, you want your flow, you need that sanitary this thing, you go.
The respect will even just.
You know, and me, for instance, my ego will not even let me come to you and go back to your heart. I will wait and get my own. You know, and that doesn't mean that I'm not going to give you. When you are having financial constraint, Queen, you know, this month, this is how it went. Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna give you 50,000 yen, 100,000 yen.
It will not be a loan.
It's a loan, but this loan they never pay. The loan I'm still writing now. The loan, you know, I'm still going to give you. But yes, even tomorrow I'll remind you. You don't want to give me this. When you were struggling, didn't I loan you this money? Say, but it's a loan. I say yes. How can you sit down for your wife to loan you money? You know. That is it. It does not mean I'm not going to give you, but I'll let you know that. Hey, I'm one away. Say but what the end made it.
Maybe it's unfortunate that your sister had a husband who did not make a decision earlier on for her to work. That was unfortunate. It was a great mistake that guy made.
But she worked,
but she did. Broke that.
Yeah. So. Yeah, of course, we should permit them because now the society permits the ladies to make money. But you see, in finances, normally when you're making plans for the family, we make the man's income the main shoulder of the family. The woman's own becomes a kind of bonus and a kind of plus because you're going to spend money and still think of having a what do you call it, a wallet for fortune. That is, you should save money that would be there for both of you during enjoyment or during something to please yourself. We call that fortune wallet.
Yeah, fortune wallet.
Yes, one day we'll talk about all this kind of stuff. You see, yeah. So it's a good idea that society permits the women to work, but normally I would advise all men that to make the man's income the sole one of the family. When you make that one, the woman's one becomes what kind of bonus, is kind of
that one
a wedge.
Yes, to support.
Yes, to support for the family. And when you do that, I'm telling you, you quickly make money.
Yes,
because the man's income goes into all the expenses. Then the woman's one becomes a kind of shoulder, so you can have enough in your fortune wallet.
And I think when it comes about this fortune wallet, you think sometimes you can put it into an investment.
Of course, that is also there.
That is, and this it should be something that you know that you can manage well. If not, sometimes money will go into it and it will not come back. You know, then it would have been better if you had saved it. But if you invest in something that's going to be giving you a little bit profits on it, then after it's there, it's also growing. You know, so I think we should think about all these things.
Yeah, we will do that, but that is a little bit professional. Invest money because of course we can advise. We advise people to invest money into, put money into investment, but mostly we ask them to save in money securities. That's where you have secured your funds. Investment, it needs some professional advice. And of course, we ask people to do that. We will suggest a lot, but of course, no one can predict the future of this. And we won't guide anybody to put his money into investment that will fail the next day. No, it still needs some professional advice. So we only ask people to think of money securities. That is where your money will be secure. The banks and all those areas, they also have some kind of investment. The returns might not be big, but your capital is secured.
Yes.
So that's why we call it money security. It's secured there.
Yeah, and then we have to think about like cutting down costs,
Of
some
course.
Exactly.
unnecessary
The
costs.
point that I wanted
That's
to,
best.
Yeah.
the cutting down costs.
Unnecessary
Yes.
costs and
Yeah.
Yes.
all that.
Yes.
That's why I said last week that you have to be pragmatic, solve the issues as they come. But if you think of going back to have what you call a predetermined solution for your problems, then you always go wrong. For example, in our system, we say a man should always take care of a woman.
Yes.
Well, that's okay, that's there. But there are times the man would go down.
And
If
then,
finances go down, what would do if you the woman you were not working? Practically, you have to cut what? Your expenditure.
exactly.
Yes.
Do some austerities, to take care of the absence of that man's income. You have to do that. That's the practical example that we're giving. So if you cannot do that, then you always have problems with your finances.
Exactly.
And you complain that my husband is not chipping well, he's not providing, and all those kind of things will keep
And
going.
what are you doing
What
if
is
he's
he
not
doing?
providing?
Yes,
So that means you want the predetermined solution for a problem, which we, in this present world, we don't advise. It's advisable to rely on that. Just always have, be sensible.
This
and
is
look at the
Jafric
situation
Radio.
and solve them as they come.
Yeah.
This is
Thank
how we
you.
advise.
And
Thank
I
you so
think
much,
during this when we are also
Queen,
planning to have
can you
kids.
hold on a bit?
Okay,
Let me
alright.
just read the messages that have come. I think we have just 5 minutes to wrap up this program. We got a message from Mr. Yaya. Say, okay, that's what it says. It says, I agree with Queen. Marriage doesn't have a formula. It is an institution on its own. That is why it is reserved for adults. Not any adult, but a prepared adult. One who is ready to compromise, solve, and forgive. One may be an adult, but there is a child to be in the institution of marriage.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so,
That's very
yeah,
right.
it's right. I
Yeah,
think,
very right.
marriage is for adults, not for kids, not for child's play.
I would prefer to
Right.
use the word mature.
Matured.
Matured, yes.
Matured adults, matured people.
And
Right.
immatured ones.
Yes. And then let's go again, Mr. Yase. If you are thinking of getting married, you can expect your partner to change, but maybe not in ways you were expecting. Till the best predictor of whether a marriage will thrive is the personalities of the two partners, and they enter into the relationship. Happy, emotionally stable couples make for happy, emotionally satisfying marriages. But when partners bring emotional baggage into the relationship, the journey is likely to be bumpy. Please be considerate at all times.
Yes.
I think Mr. Yaya has made a
That's a
very
good
good
point.
point.
Yeah, very good
I
point.
very
was talking
good
to my friend the other day and I said, if I have the chance to marry again, I would look for a woman who can guarantee herself happiness and she's she's well to do in everything. Yes, if I have chance to marry a woman again.
Right.
Then I was talking to my friend, he asked me why. I said, well, you first have to guarantee yourself happiness.
Happiness, yes.
If you can guarantee yourself happiness, then you wouldn't expect me to make you happy.
Exactly.
And it should go the vice versa.
Yes.
You see, it's because normally we rely on our partners to make us happy. And if the happiness does not come, we feel
Then it becomes
disappointed.
something else. Yeah.
You see, and we feel like, oh, I
Yeah.
made the wrong choice.
Mhm.
Oh, I shouldn't have come this way. I shouldn't have married this man. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have
We're living
married
in
this
a
woman.
regret for a very long time.
That kills us. That makes us die earlier before our time. See, so we always talk about this. Please make sure you can guarantee yourself happiness if you're a woman. See, money is made. We say this all the time.
This is
Guarantee
Jafric
yourself
Radio.
a job that you can do something with your hands to bring in money. When you go back home, let's use our home for example, because that's where we can.
Yeah.
Don't be home. You can save in water on your head.
Yes.
Sell the contumely by the streets.
Exactly.
You see, just money making. It's not how much you're making, but your effort, the effort that you are putting in. That's
Yes.
what we're talking about. For to convince every man to know that, wow, she's hardworking.
Right.
You see, but if you don't have this and you sit at home, expecting the man to go and bring the money at the same time, make you happy and all the time,
Yeah. The time will come.
I think
the
my
man
mom
will
is
know.
a perfect example
you
of
will get
this.
tired.
I will sometimes have to connive with the doctor and say, Kaja and said the blood pressure goes through. So she should see her home. My mom would tell me that, of course I understand. You send me my money, you know, everything, my hospitals and all that. But you want me to die soon? I said, what? I said, my happiness is when I go to that place, I see these kids. You know? She'll be selling fruits, banana, and I sometimes feel like she's training herself under the sun, and she has done her best, you know. So this is the time for her to rest, and she's thinking that
I will not rest.
I'm chasing her to her grave. And when you call her, she's at that primary school. Said her voice is even different. Sometimes she say, "Miti hampo na me say ma kotomo to be grandma," you know, kind of. And as
This is
Mr.
Jafric
Dechi
Radio.
said, you should find your own happiness. What makes you happy? You yourself, you should ask yourself, what makes me happy?
What makes me happy? That's true.
Because if you are not happy, there's no way you can make your partner also happy, because that gloomness is going to, you know,
You're
affect.
shifting it
Yes.
on your partner.
Yeah.
You know, so I think if we find our own happiness and dwell in it, I think we can make our partners also happy.
The saying is always good. You can't give what you don't have.
Exactly. You
So
can
if
give
you
what
have
you don't
happiness
have.
yourself, that means you can guarantee your spouse
Yes.
happiness.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's really
You know?
simple, you know. If you don't have it, how can you?
They
That's
say,
true.
"Kwatre kwasi or better
Oh,
or
no,
toma."
no, it's any the answer.
Me like
Exactly.
this, as we are talking about the Rolls Royce, or is it Rolls Royce or what?
Rolls Royce and what is it?
Ferrari?
Ferrari. Yeah,
Bugatti and the rest.
That's right.
I cannot even mention the name. So if I promise you this thing,
How can you buy it?
How can I get
I cannot even get the name right, and you are expecting me to.
to buy?
You know?
This is
So I
Jafric Radio.
think if
True.
we are able to overcome all these things, we will be able to. This marriage,
Yeah. Some say you guys are scaring me. But we are not scaring.
No, we
It's reality.
We're giving,
Yeah.
we're giving them the point that
The
you should expect
points.
to come.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
when it comes, what do you do?
What
Don't
do you
run away. Face it and solve it.
That's the point. Omar, he said, please ask my mom and my queen about marriage misunderstanding.
it's a marriage
I
misunderstanding.
don't. He said,
next week,
I
eh?
don't want to ask her privately because I am watching the program with my friends who are married to Japanese and still find it difficult to live with them. They need her education.
Well, Umar,
the time,
the
right?
time is already gone. So, Umar, I promise you next week we're gonna
Yeah.
tackle this, okay?
Yeah.
So tell your
is
friends
Jafric
to be
Radio.
ready.
For
Next week
we was
we're
sorry.
gonna talk about
Sorry,
it.
sorry, we
Okay,
couldn't
our
read
time
your-
is
yeah.
up already.
Western Ellie. And now Mami Dufie Charity is also watching us. Mr. Acel say, hey, poops. I don't know what connection between this A. And we have Ofer, Lily, thank you so much for being there all the time. Thank you. You say Odoka Krasi Kra. Odoka
This is Africa Radio.
And Efia Kumiwa Nana is also watching. Thank you so much. Today we have a lot of people watching us. Please share the link with your friends and loved ones.
Jafric
And we
Radio,
have a lot
the
to
number one online
offer,
radio station
or a
based
lot to
in
give.
Japan.
All right. Thank you so very much. I think I will just give 1 minute for Mr. Fred to wrap up, and then Queen also 1 minute, and then we bring the program to a close. All right.
Yeah, I think we've talked a lot, and as we keep on talking, I mean, all that we're saying is everybody has to be careful.
Right.
You can't change somebody's way of thinking. No, it's not possible to change people's way of thinking. But you can alter, or you can help them make alteration, or you can have them get influence from the relationship, but don't think of changing their way of thinking. That's not possible. Yes, but helping them to make alteration is by all you yourself having a life that would please them and have them get that influence and make alterations in their life. If you can do this with your partner, then I think you can have a clear understanding. But always don't forget,
This is
we talk
Jafric
about
Radio.
effective communication. It's something that we keep on pouncing on it. May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Before Queen, 1 second, let me read a comment from Mr. Yaya. He said, advice. Remember, it is good to seek advice from others. However, remember, not all advice from the old people you should listen to
Yeah.
and, let's say, take in. Foolish people grow old.
That's true.
This is serious. All right.
Just saying it in your problem.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Fred, Mr. JJ, thank you for clarity. I think we will do the part 2 of this program because our brother also said we should discuss marriage and empathy.
Empathy
in
yes.
marriage. Yeah, it's like the feeling.
So
or
next
having
week we
feeling
have
for
empathy
for
and
somebody else.
interracial, right? On
Yeah.
same topic.
On the same topic, I think here we will stay a bit longer to just explain certain things. Yeah. So next week, that one too we will tackle, and then Mr. Omar too, we will answer your question and what you need to know. I think Queen has both experience, so I think she will be a very good instrument to answer this question.
Hey,
yes.
You have washed my linen outside.
Mr. Fred too has 2 examples, right? Similar, but Mr. Fred, it's like one lane. Mr. Fred doesn't like the
Kona one.
No. He doesn't like the black soup.
I didn't
The
know.
panis.
Hey,
No one
From
is
the
saying
first,
that.
from
Don't
the second.
believe this.
This is
why
Jafric
shouldn't I?
Radio.
You go to Nina.
Nah.
Eh?
Queen, try her. Try her.
Eh?
You go to.
Nti sisi anumbekwa no Arab.
Hey, Queen. Adebro. Where's the
Jafric
Adebro?
Radio.
Right, Queen, please wrap up. 1 minute, Queen.
Yeah, you know, as we are tackling, as I said, marriage is just like a school. You have to study, and then each chapter that you leave, you have to refer back and see what worked there, what did not work there. And the more we are in it, the more we learn.
That's right.
And as my brother was saying before, communication.
Yeah.
Communication is the key. No matter what, no matter how angry you are or whatsoever, you have to communicate your feelings. Because if you don't bring it out there, your partner is not a magician to know whatever that is in your head or what you are feeling. So you have to bring that one to
This is Jafric
out.
Radio.
And then when we talk about happiness, you have to make yourself happy so that you can make your partner also happy. And then you don't have to think that Because if a person is having a character before ever you get married, don't expect this person to change. If there is no, because this is them. Marriage will not change it.
Yeah.
And if this person, unless this person doesn't even know about this change, this thing or this character we're talking about, and you can never change a person if the person is not willing to.
Yeah.
So don't expect to change your partner when you get married. If there's any changes, you have to make the changes before ever you enter into that marriage. And if it's something that is not working out, then don't even venture.
Yes.
Because it's either going to be worse or still same.
This is Jafric
So
Radio.
I think that's a little bit advice we have to cut it for this. So see you next week.
All right. Thank you so much, Queen. In fact, I am privileged to have you here with you and Mr. Fred and all of you. In fact, you made the things work well for us. And my bro, Will D. Charlie, he says, great discussion. Will, thank you so much. And also we see Lily Ofe, she's just clapping. Mr. Cornelius say, yeah, it's true. Marriage, marry me and marry my dog.
Yes. Yes.
Marry me and marry my dog. And so if you love me, you should love everything around me. All right. So one person, I think there was a short motivational speaker that I had said, you cannot change someone. Yes, I think Mr. Fred, right. If you want to change, you've been selfish. Yes, being selfish. Why did you want it? Just flow with him. And
This is Jafric Radio.
Like you will see your actions and your inactions will help the person
to change your
so if you want someone, don't force them. You have to do this. Why you like this? You are just stressing yourself because it will not work. All right. So gradually things will fall in place. So we thank all of you for tuning into Jafric Radio Home Sweet Home. I told you, the only thing, our motive and only thing that we are looking out for is to see you enjoying your second heaven on earth. Thank you so much for Bayside Modeling Agency. Thank you for Turmeric Hotel. We remember that on the September 10th, our brother DJ Clemsy will celebrate the funeral of his sister and dad at Central Assembly
This is Jafric Radio.
Church of Pentecost in Kawaguchi at 4 p.m. And then on the 13th of August, our sister Mami Kay will also celebrate her mother's funeral at Matubara Dainchi, Bunka Kaikan. All right, I know all of you, most of the Ghanaians know that place. And we have Pastor Bernard Efa. He has also wrote a book titled Glorious Word Devotional. And now
This is
it's in
Jafric Radio.
Amazon store. So you can also access and get that one from Amazon. And we have our sister Tina. She's also celebrating her birthday on the 30th of July. That's next week, Sunday. So the place is Asa Hall, Soka. It's near the Soka station. So she's calling all of us to join her celebrate her birthday. All right. Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you, listeners. We just bring the curtain to a close. Thank you so very much. And
This
I
is
just want to
Jafric
thank
Radio.
my DJ and also the executive producer, Nanaya Pop, for
This is Jafric Radio.
just bringing this, helping us to, let's see, bring this program to you. My name still remains Thickness Poma, or you can call me Abna Poma Pukufuku, a lady with a long name. Until we meet again next week, we say Sayonara.
a secret, no I'll be mommy diabetes. Although you're
This is
pure
Jafric Radio.
naturally sweet. I just took you off the market, baby. Come with me. That's it, bro. When you're in baby, come and see why you me dumpy. Oh, you my worry about. Yeah. Oh, you're me cho, my worry about. Yeah. Missy, my worry about. Yeah. Sweetie pie, them move for my worry about. Oh, yeah. Meka no kwenya fangu die na mensa si me kuku. Odo mi fina kume mune nye mi sika futro. Yeah. Betini swama sorry oh, baby. Odo frame ya me got isa sorry oh. Yeah, me got isa sorry oh. Oh, oh, no aneko. Meninu go si uomu. Onwa neko she Missy onwa neko Odo si onimia Iti onwa neko she Ma worry oba Yeah, ma worry o Ebusu edi a dance yes ma worry oba Yeah Sweetie pie de mufua Ma worry oba Yeah Obi asi me dem say my worry oba. It's wifey time, can I talk to you later? We putting plants in our incubator. Oh yo, blow the whistle, make them know game is over. Yeah, my worry oba. Good loving is overloading. Yeah. See the goosebumps for my body, oh. She says she love my vibe, no be money, oh. My number one queen and my baby, oh. Urban in here, my worry over, yeah. Oh, yeah, nyamicho, my worry over, yeah.
This is Jafric Radio.
Yeah. Sweetie pie, them move wanti my worry over, oh yeah.
Radio, your number one online radio station based in Japan.
This is Jafric Radio.
Hi, my name is The Laboratory, an international flutist from Ghana. I urge you all to listen to Jafric Radio station based in Japan.
Jafric Radio. Yeah, mamu futu papa Jafric Radio. Yeah, mamu kasia papa Jafric Radio. Yeah, mamu adisra papa Jafric Radio. Radio, Jafric Radio.
Jafric Radio, your number one online radio station based in Japan.
Jafric Radio. Muki kon Jafric Radio. Yeah, mamu kasia papa Jafric Radio.
This is Jafric Radio. This is Jafric Radio.